everyone. I hope everybody's doing well, blessed, and enjoying family. And as always, I do want to start off by thanking everybody for your guys' words, prayers, and your amazing support from the heart. Do know I appreciate every single one of you. Gracias. Now, to get into the story on here, this one is going to be short, and please do excuse if I exclude few names. Is just this is literally recent, right? And again, I'm not on here for that. I'm not on here to point fingers or help, you know, them gente out with whatever they got going on against somebody. It's just not why I'm on here. I'm on here for the message and the message alone. But anyways, first I want to take you back. Man, it was in Tehachapi, right? It was after I got in there. It was very short, right? I had a celly that he got the 7 block, and at this time he was a kamarada, and but he got there, and he offered himself to take some popoca and some other things to Tio Chino when he was in 5 block. So I assisted collecting them and giving them to the homie so that he was able to, you know, to storage them in the proper position to get that move done. So it happened. Again, while we were cellies though, we kicked it off for a few reasons. One, our families came from Sinaloa, from very close ranch, as a matter of fact, As you guys know, Culiacan is a municipio and it has a bunch of ranches, right? But nevertheless, when you're in that wiggle, you run across a lot of people that you come to like. But unfortunately, it says everything. It don't last. So he moved on to do his thing, and I continued doing my time, and I was a lifer, so that was gonna be the end of that, right? But fast forwarding, once I hit Mexico, as you guys know, the first Pili I reported to was evil, and I was already in contact. Sana put me in contact with him from Feds and his secretary, which I will mention because, as you guys will know, her name was Jessica from Chiques, from Colonia, right? She was actually one of the top girls that was doing all the movement for evil, right? And she was there. Now I didn't know this girl, nor do I know her now, right? But at least I got into more personal conversations as I was in Mexico, and she was always, on the trigger for evil. Lo que sea, vámonos, right? Let's boogie. But from there, I stopped by TJ to pay my respects, and I went to Sonora, paid my respects, and I moved down to Culiacan, and I met with the Pilis, Richie from El Monte, Mono from Ontario, and O from El Valle Imperial. And as we were wiggling, again, you guys are aware of the war that was going on, and we're being lambe, supporting Sinaloa with the Beltranes in Nayarit. Now, while this is going on, there's a certain Pili out there that they're telling me we gotta go up out there, and he holds down the bodega or that little house where we usually get there, and we were able to move from, right? But it was difficult for us in Nayarit. For example, in my case, as you guys have seen, I'm all blasted. My neck, my whole back of the head. I got horns, the sides of my head, the back of my neck, my whole neck, my arms. So it ain't like I could, blend into the crowd, right? And the Beltranes were really sketchy when it came to camaradas, as you guys have heard from my last story. They didn't like us, period, point blank, because they knew we were pointers for for Sinaloa. We were sleepers when it came to, we came in like tourism, and we peep game, and if we could take care of business on our own, we would. And but when I got to Nayarit, we got to a certain colonia, and the pili that was there was the pili from Pomona. There's no need for marks, right? But he was from Pomona, and it was this camarada that I had met, I don't know, close to 20 years back, right? In Tehachapi, somewhere there. And, you know, from then on, it was a different trip, right? Because we were able to really know each other. And since we wiggled as camaradas at one point, it was easier to bridge with one another, right? So, again, when it came to visit in Culiacan, we got together, just things unfolded, right? And again, as I will get into it, but as you guys know, we actually were pointers in different states, and one of the ones that me and him were not gonna say assigned, but we were torpedoes to go into, because even though he was a pili, he was really looked down from other pilis. Why? Because he didn't have that estilo to him, right? And again, you can't go against that green, man. When we're moving with these other three pilis, and then the top camarada is Tweety from Ontario, and he's a big old tecato too. So it's one against four in reality, right? And there was no competing with that. He was being assigned as a camarada, which is the way it should be, right? There shouldn't be no difference. You're there because you're a warrior, you're a soldado, you're meant to be a top-notch individual for our cause. But when you're just there using and pointing people to do your work, then you're dead weight. At least in their perspective when it comes to people, right? Because if a camarada is just there not doing nothing, using and abusing, or he's taking up spades, go ahead and vámonos. But when it comes to them, they just could be like, hey, he owes me $50. Go ahead, go waste your life, go take his life. But again, without getting off track, I disculpen. As you guys probably have seen, the stories kind of touches a nerve, right? Because this is the same Pili or camarada. I will refer him as a camarada, right? That we ended up in Oaxaca. And as you guys, or the ones that have been with me for day one, I haven't gotten there in my story, but we get arrested in Oaxaca. Basically, we get set up. We get done in. And me being always, I don't want to say the word, but I was always one of those that was eager to do stuff without fearing the consequences, right? At the end of the day, I had that Superman mentality, which stupid now, now I see it that I'm as weak as a 2-year old, right? But anyways, that day, we didn't just get arrested, but I get shot up. I get shot up bad. And I ended up in the hospital. Well, in our stay in prison in Oaxaca, they shot me straight to the hospital. I was there 6 months without able to walk. And this is the camarada that every day he was checking in on me, taking work, walking me to the shower, showering me. The same camarada that after 3 months I was telling him like, hey, look, let me do this on my own, fool. I want to grab the IV stick and walk my butt to the shower and shower. If you see me hit the floor, just pick me up and throw me on the bed again. I was just that mentality in me, stupid, right? So that's the correct word. I was stupid. But anyways, out of everybody that we got busted, which was everybody, there was like at least 15 of us. He was the only one every day on the dot. First thing in the morning, ¿Cómo estás? What you need? You want to shower? You want to go to the bathroom? Here, I bought you a burger. I bought you this. You want me to make some calls for you? Again, I'm a camarada. He's a pili, but he don't see that because that's how it should be, right? Well, at least in a good situation, that's how respect should be given, right? Amongst one another. But we all know it's a lie. It's never going to be that, right? But anyways, time came. I got out the hospital, and we started pressing on, you know, us getting sentencing so we're able to pay with feria to split, right? To get out that pinta, which within a month after I got the hospital, we did. You know, the first one was myself and Mono. Then it was the homie from Pomona and the Billy O. And then Richie and Tweety were the last ones with the last little crowd. And as you guys know, I kept being a dumb butt, right? And I disculpen I use these words, but again, I don't want to offend nobody, so I want to be as respectful as possible, right? But we went back to Gulacan. We kept doing our things, and things unfolded the way they unfolded, as you guys know, with the whole situation with Bago and then with D, as I will touch on soon, and my niece and the bodegas, and I'm gonna be sincere with you guys. Me personally, you know, even when I was active, I always been that individual where I ain't give about nothing, lives, doing whatever. But I was that stupid to always be like, my person has value. And the reason why I say this, cause I will go out and make deals, for example, in Culiacan and, different things when it wasn't in one place, you know, and then when they would try to tiptoe around me, I always used to tell them, who the hell you think I am? My person has value. Either you get right or we get right, right? And, which was a lie. At this time I'm being punked and stepped on, and at the end of the day, with other people, putting up this facade of a campolero, of a soldado, right? And it just bit me in the butt, right? But anyways, the reason I'm touching on this is because this camarada, he always had that wariness when it came to me. I'll just say it like that, right? For example, I never held my tongue. I know I come on here like a big old weenie now, which is cool, because that's what God wants me to be humble as. But back then, he would tell you himself, I don't introduce you to my compadre because sincerely, if he don't like you, you're gonna know. So I'm not that individual no more. And this is the same person that I tell you guys that whenever now after all this happened, um, he knew I was in the hospital for XX reason, and he popped up. You need something, fool? Your family needs something in the States. Well, just respect. So now I was stating this. Let me go back a little bit to Jessica. Again, Jessica was a tough worker for Evil. They were from the same neighborhood. Their background, I'm not clear on, right? As you guys know, I'm not going to touch or confirm to the spot something that I'm not 100%. But I know they're from the same neighborhood, and she was the strongest supporter for Evil. And as you know, the Pili Evil, one of his crew members, took from Gaiman. And the reason why I'm even stating his name now is because before this he wasn't known, but now with all this war, his name came out now. He's out and floating. And just to be sincere, well, I'll keep that to myself. But anyways, he's the one that called that cuetazo on Evil and the other person you guys asked me for, because Evil's worker took from him. So Evil always played that card meant to go where they're under me. I make all the decisions. And to be sincere, Evil was that individual that used to tell them, if something, we're gonna do this, if something needs to fall back on somebody, aquí estoy. He will man up like that. I gotta give dues where dues are meant to be given. And anyways, Caiman, as you guys know, threw that cuetazo, and that's why well, you guys know the evil thing, which I will touch on later. The point is, once he was gone, Jessica didn't feel comfortable no more. So she had two little girls. So she left everything. She did not steal. She did not take. Like she had that mentality. Like The homie here was telling me I was on the ranch and he heard this. He was like, take all there. You ain't got nothing wrong. But I used to tell him, my person has value. I ain't going to steal. I'll get mine back, but I ain't going to steal from. I'm not a crook, right? It's just my stupidity again. But anyway, she took off. The homie right here got moved from Nayarit to PB, Puerto Vallarta. And somehow that one person from that went to war with Yaco took over a lot of the faction of evils and found out where Jessica was, which she was in oh, I don't remember his neighborhood. He told me anyways, a neighborhood in PB with her kids, working a little job and a cell phone thing, whatever. So again, Coco was looked down on or basically used as a kamarada would be used, even though he had say so. He should have said say so, right? But he was content with doing things just sincerely. He's just the individual he was. He didn't mind. But when they asked him to go look for this girl and find her and clip her, when he got there, this was a little bit ago, right? He called me and he told me, hey, compadre, así, así, because he wanted me to pump him up, just being sincere. And other times, I would have told him, nah, fool, don't murder. Just, I just want to be honest. That would have been my reaction. Don't even hesitate, don't murder. But he started telling me that she was working there. He seen her walking with her little girls. He didn't want to do that, right? And over nothing, because she never did anything. She just wanted to work for evil, and evil was gone. She wanted to move on, right? Which that's not permitted for nobody, because they don't fall under the structure. You were good at something for somebody, well, now you're gonna be good for me or else. You know. So, anyways, this homie, he took it. I told him, just leave her alone. You never found her, fool, and that's it. But he knew it was just a matter of time before someone came there and double checked on it, and she was gonna be there. So he did, went up to her and told her, look, this and that. They know where you're at. You have to bounce. Which, homegirl's gone. That's why I even mentioned her name. Before this happened, she was gone. Somehow, the pili from La P found out, and 2 weeks ago they moved on the homie. They shot him, at what I heard, 20 something times. And he was critical. And last night, his jefita notified us that he didn't survive, right? And I wanted to put this on here and not for, dismiss everything I said we were in together. That has no meaning. The point I want to make here is that you're always taught to do everything for these individuals, thinking that when push comes to shove, they're going to show love back. But that's a lie. This was one of their brothers, and he didn't do nothing wrong. Homegirl didn't do nothing wrong. She didn't snitch, she didn't steal. She just didn't want to work for a different pili. But as you guys know, when a pili falls, everybody falls with him. They gave her the option to work for her. She didn't want it. She had to go. They just chose the wrong individual. He would never touch his heart for another man, right? That was in the game. But he didn't feel right doing it to a mother of 2 little girls and leaving the little girls homeless in a country the mom didn't even belong in. Now, they're not different. They're just not in this place no more, right? But it's sad that the homie wasn't about politics in that sense. He was about following what he had to do, and that's not good enough. Just please pay attention to this. The homie didn't fall in line to what they wanted done with no reason, but that wasn't good enough. So don't be brainwashed on you're gonna do this, you're gonna do this, and you're gonna earn points. Nothing you do, as I said it many times, is gonna have any meaning. You could go 10, 15, 20 years, do everything to the dot for the cost per se. The minute you piss one off, that's not even a violation in that extent. Remember, they're God on earth. They're the one that dish out the punishment to their liking, to their caliber. So be smart. There's nothing more beautiful than, being able to do something for you, your family. I never had that, seeing my kids as babies, enjoying those moments, leaving those moments behind. Just stay true to yourself and loyal to your loved ones. Gracias, muy buenas noches. As always, my love to everybody.